people use religion very much as a political tool. I don't think that's the way it was intended. I think it was intended to be a moral guide.
For me, it is not an internal conflict to be a Catholic and to be a legislator, because there are rights as an American that we should have, that our Constitution should guarantee for us, that don't get in the way of me being a Catholic.
I was raised a Catholic, went through all of the sacrament, received all the sacraments in Catholicism, went to church every single Sunday. I performed elective abortions. As a Catholic, I didn't have any trouble helping the patient with their journey. That's their journey, not mine. My journey is for me personally. Their journey is for them personally. And as a physician, it's essential that you be able to provide the opportunity for the patient to have their own journey in their own health care.
Any religious perspective that I personally have, I check at the door. I want a patient to know what their options are from a medical standpoint, regardless of any religious beliefs that I may hold or that the patient may hold. It is my job to provide non-judgmental care and to help a patient navigate a situation where they know that they are not being judged by their practitioner.
I strongly believe that we're not here by accident. We're here for a divine reason, and we don't need to understand, and we probably will never understand. But that doesn't mean that we're not here for a divine reason. I believe that the intellect and the abilities that I have been given are a gift from God. And it's my duty to steward those to the best service of my patients.
I have been in rooms with patients who have been in situations where they have had to consider an abortion, where they have deeply religious beliefs and never thought that they would ever want to consider something like that. Those are interesting conversations to have and heartbreaking, but they do come up. And it's really interesting to see patients who have all of their lives believe that they would never ever want to consider that because they think it's bad from a religious perspective, but to see it from a new perspective when you're sitting in a situation where you are facing a pregnancy that could directly impact your health, or the fetus is not going to survive.
Early on in our marriage, I got pregnant with a very much desired pregnancy. I was pregnant with a baby girl, and early in the pregnancy, well, actually, it was at the end of the first trimester, I learned that she had a fetal abnormality and a condition called trisomy 18 that is not compatible with life. So I had a week to make a decision about whether to terminate the pregnancy or go forward with the pregnancy. I am Catholic. As I was trying to make what felt like an impossible decision because I already loved this life growing in me, but understand that the doctor advised when I asked, "Is she suffering?" He said, "Every cell in her body is sick. So yes, she is suffering, and she will probably start suffering more."
I have absolutely been involved in the care of patients who I know have deeply religious views, that impact their decision-making as it comes to their health care. And I have absolutely encouraged those patients to reach out to a pastor or a priest or whomever they see fit to help them navigate those decisions if they want to have those people involved.
I visited with the sister at my church who I was very close to at the time, and she said to me, "We don't believe in abortion under any circumstance." I had family who were pro-life say, "You should terminate the pregnancy. It's not worth sacrificing your health for a baby that won't live."
I believe that the cultural context now is completely different from the way I was raised. That I was raised to believe that differences are really important and that we have a society of differences. And my religious beliefs are my religious beliefs. I never would have ever thought to impose my religious beliefs on anyone else.
You have a value system. It is not an unsafe assumption that that value system is based upon those religious and philosophical beliefs that you got as a child. But when religion gets into government and politics, it's a whole different situation.
I was 15 when Roe v. Wade passed. And so for virtually all my life, that has been the law in the United States. And as a teenager, I did not understand that, and I thought that that was wrong. And I have to say that my opinion has changed dramatically as I have progressed in maturity and as I've become a provider of medical services, specifically to the women I honor. I think the woman should have the choice. And once you decide, once you take that position, why should I put restrictions? Why should anyone put restrictions on why the woman makes that choice? If it's her choice, it's her choice. Do you tell a 14-year-old that's been raped they can't have a pregnancy termination, that it's their duty to deliver this baby and then raise it? Why is that not the rapist's duty? I don't understand this. Why are women the victim of their abuse? And here we see this now really pronounced by the legislative actions in the state of Texas. Women are the victims. I don't think that's right.
Back in the late 80s, I was elected president of the Amarillo Rape Crisis Domestic Violence Center. The first, if not one of the very first men to head up a sexual assault awareness. As the realization was evolving that rape was a crime of violence. Sex was the weapon, but it wasn't the crime. It was a crime of violence. And how many times we have young women come into the emergency room, and we provide them a lot of support with volunteers and work very closely with law enforcement to explain what their options were and what they needed to do so that we could successfully prosecute the crime and have the person recover from the trauma like people recover from other violent crimes. And so I was always of the same mind that George W. Bush enunciated, that he was opposed to abortion except in the cases of rape, incest, and a threat to the life of the mother.
I grew up in the Catholic Church. My family's been Catholic for 2,000 years. I was an altar boy growing up. I know all the Catholic teaching. But, as an OB-GYN, most of us don't believe every single thing in what we are taught, right? If that's your political party, rarely you're going to agree with everything on that platform. I think that comes down to faith, too.
I can make choices to live a life of a Catholic and also respect other people's choices to not make those same decisions and to not be Catholic and to go down a different path and be a different religion or no religion at all, because this is America.